Good morning, everyone. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of sea dragons, exploring their biology, the complexities of their trade, and the crucial efforts being made for their conservation. Our focus will be on effectively managing the Syngnathidae family, both in their natural habitats and in captivity, with a special introduction to the iconic Leafy and Weedy sea dragons. Our insights are drawn from comprehensive resources, including the 2005 Syngnathidae Husbandry Manual and data from the Department for Environment and Water in South Australia. Let's begin by understanding the family Syngnathidae. This diverse family includes familiar species like seahorses, which are globally distributed, and pipefish. Uniquely, sea dragons, specifically the Leafy and Weedy varieties, are endemic only to southern Australia. What defines this family? They share distinct characteristics: fused jaws, forming long, tubular snouts with small, toothless mouths, perfect for suction feeding. Their bodies are protected by external armor, bony plates rather than scales, offering a unique defense. Perhaps most famously, they exhibit a remarkable reproductive strategy: male pregnancy, where the males exclusively rear the young. Now, let's look at the morphology and mimicry that makes Leafy and Weedy sea dragons so extraordinary. The Leafy sea dragon, or Phycoderus equi, is renowned for its elaborate, leaf-like appendages that cover its entire body. This serves as incredible camouflage, allowing it to mimic drifting kelp and floating seaweed. They typically grow to a maximum of 50 centimeters, averaging around 30, and possess chromatophores, enabling them to change color based on stress or diet. In contrast, the Weedy sea dragon, or Phylloteryx teneolatus, has a more streamlined body with stringy, grass-like appendages. Its camouflage strategy is to mimic seagrass meadows. They are generally slightly larger and often hardier than their leafy cousins. Delving into their life history and reproductive biology, we find more unique adaptations. For locomotion, sea dragons rely entirely on camouflage, not speed. Their propulsion comes from tiny, transparent dorsal and pectoral fins, which create the illusion of drifting seaweed, helping them blend seamlessly with their environment. Regarding dietary needs, they are voracious predators, primarily feeding on mysid shrimp and plankton, using their specialized snout expansion and suction mechanism to capture prey. The male burden is truly remarkable in this family. During mating, females deposit up to 250 bright pink eggs onto the male's brood patch using an ovipositor. The males then carry these eggs for an extensive period of 4 to 9 weeks. Upon hatching, the young are independent, approximately 20 mm long with yolk sacs, but immediately vulnerable to predation. These magnificent creatures inhabit specific endemic ranges and bioregions. Their range is confined to the temperate waters of southern Australia, stretching from Jurien Bay in Western Australia all the way to Wilson's Promontory in Victoria. They prefer shallow waters, typically found at depths of 3 to 50 meters. Critical habitats for sea dragons include seagrass meadows, rocky reefs, and granite islands, such as the famous Kangaroo Island. A key constraint for their conservation is that they are non-migratory species with strong site fidelity, meaning they tend to stay in very specific locations throughout their lives. However, sea dragons face a significant threat landscape. Habitat degradation is a major concern, particularly the loss of crucial seagrass beds due to coastal development and the escalating impacts of climate change. Pollution also poses a severe risk. Sea dragons have high sensitivity to runoff, making stormwater drains emptying into the sea a critical threat to their delicate ecosystems. Historically, illegal extraction has pressured their populations, primarily from the aquarium trade, compounded by inadvertent bycatch in fisheries. While globally listed as near threatened or least concern, their local status in Australia is critical. They are strictly protected under the Australian Fisheries Management Act of 2007. Recognizing their vulnerability, global regulation efforts have been put in place, notably under CITES Appendix 2. In November 2002, Syngnathids were officially recognized as vulnerable. This led to the implementation of CITES Appendix 2 for hippocampus species in May 2004. A core principle of CITES is the non-detriment finding, or NDF, which requires exporting countries to certify that trade will not threaten the survival of the species. Furthermore, specimens must be legally obtained according to national laws. A key sustainability standard introduced is the 10 centimeter rule, a minimum height requirement that allows animals to reproduce before they can be captured, ensuring the continuation of the species. Let's examine the aquarium supply chain, from reef to retail. Unfortunately, this chain often begins with target fisheries, which can be illegal or inadvertent bycatch, leading to the acquisition of these animals. However, a significant movement is underway to improve this. Public aquariums and research institutions are vital players. The Marine Aquarium Council, or MAC, has established rigorous standards for ecosystem and fishery management, and for collection, fishing, and holding practices. The ultimate goal is to move the entire industry toward 100% captive-bred animals or MAC-certified sustainable harvest, minimizing impact on wild populations. When transporting these delicate creatures, strict logistics of live transport are crucial. A safe transport protocol involves specific measures. Containers must be molded polystyrene for optimal thermal retention. For sea dragons, bags are initially packed with no air or oxygen to prevent piping, which is when they ingest air, causing buoyancy issues. Essential inclusion of holdfasts, like plastic plants or tubing, allows them to anchor themselves, significantly reducing metabolic stress during transit. Minimizing transit time is unequivocally the single most critical factor. A crucial warning: stress-related mortality often occurs weeks after arrival due to a delayed physiological response, making post-transport care paramount. Maintaining sea dragons in captivity demands stringent husbandry requirements and careful health management. Water quality is paramount, as they exhibit high sensitivity to nitrate and ammonia levels, and even slight temperature fluctuations can be detrimental. Dietary logistics present a significant challenge. They have an absolute requirement for live food, specifically mysids, which represents a considerable cost and logistical barrier for aquariums. Furthermore, they are susceptible to several health risks, including gas bubble disease, where bubbles form under their skin or in their pouch vibrio, a stress-triggered bacterial infection, and protozoan parasites like urinema and cryptocarrion. Remarkably, there have been significant breeding breakthroughs, closing the life cycle in captivity. A notable case study comes from the Busan Aquarium. In 2012, an F1 generation, born to wild parents in Melbourne Aquarium, was transferred to Busan. This led to the first F2 generation born to captive parents. The mating dance occurred in November and December of 2012, with hatching in January 2013. The challenge in breeding involves an elaborate mating dance that requires deep water columns and very specific light cycles. The significance of this achievement cannot be overstated. Busan Aquarium became the first Asian aquarium to successfully breed Weedy Seadragons, thereby reducing pressure on wild populations and contributing vital knowledge to conservation efforts. A global aquarium census conducted in 2005 provided valuable insights into Syngnathidae breeding. While 16 out of 17 species showed some breeding activity in public aquariums, a key insight revealed that survival to adulthood, or rearing, remains a significant husbandry bottleneck. As you can see from the chart comparing breeding versus rearing percentages for various species like Hippocampus abdominales, Erectus, and Cuda, there's a noticeable drop-off. While many species successfully breed, getting the young to survive to adulthood is where the main challenge lies, highlighting areas for future research and improved captive care strategies. This data comes from the 2005 International Census of Syngnathids in public aquariums. Sea dragons hold immense education and flagship value. The flagship species strategy leverages the charisma of these incredible dragons to protect their vital habitats, particularly seagrass meadows. Beyond their ecological significance, they possess high economic value, with each specimen potentially worth around $10,000, which drives economic interest in sustainable breeding programs. Institutions like the Tennessee Aquarium, Long Beach Aquarium, and Moody Gardens, with their Seahorse Symphony, showcase these animals beautifully. They serve as powerful ambassadors for the macro world, captivating audiences and inspiring conservation. So, what can we do? Stewardship and action are key. Firstly, stormwater management is critical. Anything washed down a drain often goes straight to the sea. Reducing urban runoff directly benefits these delicate ecosystems. Secondly, responsible tourism is vital. For divers, look but don't touch protocols protect marine life from disturbance. Finally, consumer choice empowers us all. Support aquariums with Marine Aquarium Council certification and those actively engaged in breeding programs. Remember, you can help by picking up litter. Even discarded fishing line can severely harm leafy seadragons. In conclusion, preserving nature's artistry means protecting the leafy and weedy seadragons. These creatures represent a truly unique evolutionary path, having traded speed for invisibility as their ultimate survival strategy. Their continued existence depends on our collective ability to manage the complex intersection of global trade, ensure pristine water quality, and foster responsible habitat stewardship. Let's commit to protecting these cryptic wonders for generations to come.